Okay, you guys, I've got the document pulled up. This is the one that I created quite some time ago, maybe about 4 years ago. And the great thing about this is if my husband were to ever take over our bills, I feel like he could easily catch on to what I've been doing and not be stuck in file folders and where is this and how much did we pay for that and is this fluctuating or is this steady? So I will go over the columns first and then I'll go over the rows. So what I do each year is I basically just duplicate this document and then I change the heading. So right here, it said 2017 bills. I duplicated it and now this one is 2018 bills. And then what I'll do under company is I will just each year update whatever needs updated. A lot of times things will stay the same, like my cell phone is going to stay the same, our insurance is going to stay the same, debt is going to stay the same. So if it needs updated, then I'll update it. Otherwise, I just leave it alone and make sure everything is current as far as amount. Starting with columns, this is type. And by type, I mean frequency. So every month, or down here in green is quarterly, down here in yellow is annually. Next column is when. So the first of the month, second, 15th, however, and the date is how I actually keep these in order. The next column is company, like I said. So to whom do we pay rent? Where do we pay storage, our internet, the gym, all of that. Now, as you'll see, I did kind of delete to whom we owe money. So this is a demo. This is our actual document, but I've just created this demo for you guys. So the next column is amount, meaning how much do we pay them or how much should we be paying them per month? And I try to keep that pretty accurate. If I don't know, so like this one down here, if I don't know exactly how much it's going to be per month, I'll put this approximation hyphen. I don't really know what it's called. Probably not an approximation hyphen, but anyway, it's approximately $20 per month. And then these two, so you'll see that card is italicized and student loan is italicized. That is because that's debt, and I just want to know, I just want to keep those different than our regular bills. So the next column is payment method, meaning how do we pay this? So there's manual, the website. I'll go into their website and pay it manually, or auto draft, where our payment information is on their website, but it's auto drafted. Or do I need to go to our bank website and manually pay it from there? So the reason I keep track of this is because our bank requires us to pay at least 2 bills from our bank. Otherwise, we get a fee. So this just kind of helps me keep track. And like I said, if my husband were to take over, then he could come on here and say, oh yeah, I need to go pay this bill on the bank website. So I feel like that's really helpful. And then the next columns are just the months of the year. So January, February, March, all the way to December. Now to do the rows, this row right here, I created, I created recently because we lived somewhere else for the first 3 months of this year. And then we moved into the duplex. So all of our bills kind of shifted a little bit and I wanted to keep track of that. So that's that row. And then, like I said, everything is in order by the date that it gets drafted. And then you'll see down here, I have a row that says first. That's actually for the first half of the month. So you'll see I stop our bills at the 15th. And then what I'll do is I will add up our first half of the month total. So right here, you can see all I did was add the rows above it and then put the first half of the month total. From here, February, July. So that's what I'll do. And just to give you a quick idea of how I do that, I will click the very first box, drag this guy down to the last one. And then here you can see it says sum. So I just drag the box and the sum pops up in 2137.02. So I put that there and that's how much we spent the first half of the month. And it just helps me keep track. And then I'll go ahead and do this column since I've yet to do it. So I click in the top box, then I'm going to drag to the bottom box, and that's it. It shows 346.28. So I'll go ahead and type that here. Oh, what did I say? 326.48. Okay, and then so you can see the 16th through the 29th is here. Those are our second half of the month bills. So I'll do that addition, which I just did, and then I'll do the monthly total. So for here, I will just do the total from the first half, press Command, and then click. Now that highlights this box and that box, and I have my sum here. So 2463.50, and I'll fill that in. And then I can see kind of each month, are we spending a whole bunch? Are we spending a lot less? How are we doing? And that helps me keep track. And then continuing with the rows, so here's our quarterly bills. And the way I keep track of these is the month that I pay them, I will write the amount. And then I'll put a Y and a Y for yes. Yes, I paid March, and yes, I paid May and June. And then I paid again in July. I paid for the quarter. So July is paid for, as is August and September. And then come October, I'll put the amount again and fill in the rest of the year. So this one you can see I forgot to pay in April at the front of the quarter. So I went ahead and paid it, had to pay a late fee. And then I put no and no because I forgot to pay. So then I did get back on track in July. The quarter's paid for. And then in October, I'll update it again. So annually, I do the same thing. I will put what I paid for the year, and then I'll put, yes, these months are paid for. And then when I duplicate this and start the next year, I'll put the Y here. So these Ys are from the previous year. These were, yes, it's paid for up until June. Let's see. So like this one right here where I have the Y, I guess I paid it in July and I didn't put the amount, but I should have. So that's kind of, I think, why I put the approximation here. I need to go figure out what the annual bill amount should be, and then I'll update that. So that's kind of how I do that. And then a little tidbit that I also do, let's say I canceled a service the second month, and I just don't want to see it every time I open my bills. I'll just grab this entire row, pull it down the document. Come on, dude. I don't know what it's doing. I'm going to put it back right quick. Okay, I'm going to grab a different row. Okay, so let's say I canceled this video service, which is Netflix. Won't be canceling that. So I'll grab the row and drag it down. Keep going. And I'll put it down here. So these are the ones, I'm going to put it back. But the ones down below are things that I have either stopped paying on or canceled a service, and I still may want to refer back to them. So I keep them accessible, but not in my way. And then at the end of the year, once December is filled out and we start doing our taxes, I just print this one single sheet document, put it with our taxes, and then, you know, there's proof and reminders of, yes, I paid this for my work, or yes, I had this, you know, these dues, or whichever. Okay, as I was editing this, I realized I didn't address this part right here. And what I'll do, if I feel like there's kind of an issue with one of the bills, I'll document it in here. So this is telling me that I already paid in August, I paid $63.98, and then I paid $59.61 again on the 5th. So that kind of raises a question in my head. So that's why it's labeled like that, or that's why there's so much in there. Another one to make note of is I did have this in bold, because as you'll see at our gym, we were paying consistently $21.70 all the way until June, and then the price jumped. And so I kept it in bold until I could figure out why, and then I remembered, oh yeah, we have an annual fee at our gym plus the regular fee. So then that made sense, and I will just unbold it to get it off my mind. But if there is something that I need to address, I'll either make it look different like this where there's too much information in the box, or I'll just put it in bold so that I remember to address it. So I just wanted to clear that up for you guys in case you were looking at this wondering, why are there so many numbers in that one box? That's why. So I came back in, added this in, hope that's helpful. The way that I update this each time, I will grab my window, and then what I'll do is I'll also bring up my banking on the internet, and I'll just cut this window in half, about there. So I'll leave up half of my bills, and then I'll pull up my banking also. Obviously not really going to pull up my banking, but this is a sample. So I will go down my transaction history, and I'll look at the most recent and say, okay, I paid $31.25 to so-and-so, and I'll check the bank, or check the date here, make sure that everything is correct, and then I will add in the amount to whatever month it belongs under. and then I'll grab the next one. So the amount, when was it paid? Okay, add that in up here on my sheet. Scroll down, and I'll just keep updating my document until I've gotten to the most recent thing that's already been added into the document. And then I'm done. And then I save it, and that's it. So I do this on a Mac, and I use this Numbers application to create this. All right, you guys have a fantastic day.